You should. I have just started and we are live.
Perfect.
So, greetings and welcome everyone to ArtSpeaks, an arts and culture forum based in San Diego, California. This is a first Sunday of every month forum. This is not a radio show. This is a Google Hangout. You are hanging out with us. We are listening to your questions. There is a Q&A app on this Google screen. If you're participating with Google+, you can send us a question and it will go straight onto the screen. And if you are watching not through Google, you might be on YouTube, you can send us a tweet. I've got my iPhone here ready for your tweets. And I've also got Facebook. Our Facebook page is up, so if you're not using either Google or Twitter, please send us a shout out on Facebook. So our hosts today are myself, Malesha Taylor, founder of museSalon Collaborative, and Johnny Tran, who is the, yes, say hey, Johnny.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Johnny is the co-owner of Thumbprint Gallery. He's also a musician, DJ, curator, business writer, and I am myself, as many of you know, opera singer, arts consultant, arts education worker, all kinds of things, and we just came together to bring you this forum. museSalon, a little bit about us. We're a social enterprise that fosters cross-disciplinary dialogue and collaboration through an international arts network. We are a network of visual, performing, and literary artists working together to create meaningful work through cross-disciplinary collaborations and by developing new models for economic and cultural sustainability. Through our local networks, we share resources, provide a platform for dialogue and collaboration between artists and other professions, and evolve our out-of-date cultural infrastructure. We aim to bridge the gap between the public good and market-driven economies, and to shift our society's perspective on the arts from being need-driven to resource-providing. So our websites for Johnny Tran, thumbprintgallerysd.com. My website for museSalon is museSalon.org. This is ArtSpeaks. You may use hashtag ArtSpeaks in your Twitter feed. So let's get to it. Adam, who has been so kind and waiting, he has an appointment, and we want him to get to his appointment on time. So we're going to start with you, Adam, and just ask a few questions. Are you there?
I sure am.
Awesome. Adam, thank you. This is my first time meeting you, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And how did you get introduced to professional work in the arts?
Well, essentially, I used to play in a few bands way back when, and so I had a musical background versus an art background per se. Mm-hmm. And so I just found just doing the whole band thing was just kind of tiring, and I decided, why not try to make this whole connective event type system. I had an event, Sight and Sound, that I co-produced with John Block, and so we had that event. It was a monthly event, and we did that and brought music and art together in this monthly multi-staged event. And then that kind of grew and grew, and Art Around Atoms actually started back in 2004, and I got involved in it in 2008, so this will be my 7th year producing the event.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's the 11th annual, yeah. So.
What projects have been the highlight of your personal life? Obviously, this festival, your band. Tell us about Exodus Studios.
Well, Exodus Studios is just a production company for basically Art Around Atoms. It was for Sight and Sound, which has been on hiatus now for a few years. But basically...
It's coming back, though.
It's coming back, yeah. Just wait for it.
Hold your breath.
I recommend it. So, but yeah, so that's basically what Exodus Studios is. Just it produces Art Around Atoms and partners with the community on that. So yeah, I still play in a band. I just started again about maybe 2 years ago with Johnny. Actually, he plays keyboards and I play drums, and so our band's Mantis, and that's a pretty fun project for me. It's nice to get back out there musically. I hadn't done it for a while, so.
Beautiful. And what makes I'm sorry, I keep saying it wrong. Art on Atoms?
Art around atoms.
Art around Atoms.
You got it.
What is unique about your festival compared to all the other festivals that go on in San Diego? What do you feel is your uniqueness?
Well, most of the festivals that happen in San Diego, not all of them, I mean, we have like different art walks and whatnot, but most of them are like vendor villages. You know, they block off huge streets and put like, you know, hundreds of vendors, and that's how they support the event basically and pay for it. What Art Around Adams does is a 2-mile stretch of Adams Avenue through Normal Heights in Kensington from Oregon Street all the way to Vista Street. And what we do, we pair artists with businesses, so we kind of combine this culture and economy type sequence in the event. So it brings people who've never heard of these businesses into the businesses to see the art and discover the businesses by doing that. And so then we use like parking lots and stuff like that for different stages and whatnot. So it's not just a huge vendor village. We do have a handful of special selected vendors, but it's really more bringing people into the businesses to see the business, see the kind of niche things that they do and the art within there. So there are all these impromptu galleries that sprout up due to it. We have, I think, like 67 of them this year. And then we have, I think, about 14 different stages. So there's a lot of different stuff that goes on.
Wow. And did that concept where you talked about bringing, you're kind of like providing advertising in a way and public draw to these small businesses, utilizing the arts. Was that originally your intention, or is that something that kind of evolved as the festival went on years and years? Was that always how you started? Was that your goal?
Well, how it started originally was more because there used to be, well, there still are, but there used to be several different like art and antique shops on Adams Avenue, and so it started basically more in the little gallery spaces and the coffee shops, and then it's expanded to a much more broader market of the businesses on Adams Avenue.
Right.
You know, so now it really touches base with a lot of them, most of them out there. So. But yeah, I mean, it was really always trying to get away from the basic street fair and put it into something different that's more meaningful for that community.
Right, right. I like that a lot. For those who may be listening who are not familiar with San Diego, can you tell us a little bit about the Adams District? You did mention the antique shops, the cafes. How would you describe that neighborhood, and what makes you choose that specific location year after year?
Well, it was originally like Adams Avenue was originally known as Antique Row, and there were a lot of different antique shops. It's no longer filled with antique stores. There's still a few on the avenue, but right now it's really becoming. There's a lot of gentrification going on. It's almost becoming like a second North Park, in the sense Heights Tavern, where we're having our after party actually. Is there, which is a nice eclectic bar. There's all these neat bars, lots of different breweries, or one brewery I should say, but lots of different craft beer areas around there. So it's known for the art, I think, the craft brews and the restaurants right now, mostly. It's just a really good area to go visit. There's neat, eclectic shops, good food, and great beer.
Awesome. That sounds like San Diego. That's pretty much craft beer. That's it. I feel like that's number one, even though it's not. It's you know, what's our number one industry here? Medical, healthcare. No, Navy.
Oh yeah, military for sure.
Military's first, and then maybe healthcare or something else. But what do you think?
For some people, alcohol is number one.
San Diego, even in high school, people used to tell me San Diego was like the party school zone. Like, you're just going to go there and get wasted kind of city. But awesome. Adam, I know you have to go. Do you want to say any final words? Let us know your website and how we can get to your festival.
Yeah, definitely. So Art Around Adams is happening this coming Saturday, June 7th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have a great after party at Heights Tavern that starts actually a little before the event ends at 9 and goes till close. The way you get there is you can go to, let's see, If you just go to Adams Avenue, anywhere between the 805 and the 15, you're going to find the event there. 3441 Adams Avenue is one of our main stages. Yeah, just come out. It's free. It's going to be fun. Lots of music, lots of different eclectic things. We have a giant-sized, life-size robot giraffe. It's going to be a good time.
Right, and the robot is also going to be a part of our local music clip that we're going to play for you guys. So the robot seems to be a theme. Awesome.
Yeah, Satanic Puppeteer Orchestra, I think, is the clip that you guys have, and he's doing his all-ages CD release party at the Adams Avenue Car Wash, so that's going to be fun. You can find out more information about the event at artaroundadams.com as well as exodus-studios.com, which actually relocates to the Facebook event page.
Isn't it artaroundadams.org?
It's both.
Oh, it is? Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's both.
All right.
Yeah, we got, we spent a little money, got both of those domains.
Awesome. That's what you do. And all right, Adam, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry that we had a late start, but thank you so much for your time and your willingness to chime in and tell us about what you're doing.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
And we will definitely be there. We're looking forward to Art Around Adams. And Johnny is also art. What are you calling yourself for this festival, Johnny?
Oh, the art coordinator for Art Around Adams. So I pretty much set up all the artists, or many of the artists with the businesses, and find artists that will fit their style that they want and all that.
Yeah, he's curating all the art, so it's going to be a good time. If you're into Thumbprint Galleries arts, you should like the artists that are at Art Around Adams. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sounds great. All right, Adam, thank you so much for joining us. If you've got to head out, feel free to disconnect or log out or whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, I got to head over to 91X now, so I'll talk to you guys later. But again, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Adam, and have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. Nice.
So we've got Jessica on the line. Jessica, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Oh my gosh, you are in Australia?
I really am. I'm in Australia.
Oh my gosh, how cool. We'll have to catch up on another Google Hangout that's not live. But Jessica.
Hello, everybody. I can't stay for long, but I saw the invite, and I thought I would pick up. Hello.
Hello, and welcome to ArtSpeaks. Everyone who's listening live, this is ArtSpeaks, an arts and culture forum. Please use hashtag ArtSpeaks on Twitter for your questions. You can also Q&A with us here on Google+, or send us a message on Facebook. So, Johnny,
Yes.
tell us about Thumbprint Gallery.
Oh yeah, so Thumbprint Gallery, we've been in business 4 or 5 years. We have a location in La Jolla and one in Hillcrest. Monthly shows at both. We specialize in urban and lowbrow art. Mostly
Urban and lowbrow. You know, for those of us who don't know what lowbrow art is, can you break that down just a little bit?
It's I could try to break it down, but it's a little it's
complicated, right?
Yeah, it sort of is. It's almost like a mix of street art with illustration, and surrealism and a little bit of pop art elements.
Mm-hmm.
And heavy influences from like a lowrider, car. I forget. What do you call it? Well, yeah, that's. I don't know.
Oh, like the lowrider car.
No, I'm trying to think of something else, but yeah, it's just it's hard to define. But
you know what makes it interesting to me is lowbrow makes me think of class. And that when I hear someone say lowbrow art, it sounds like terminology used to separate certain types of art by class. Like, what's highbrow art? What's lowbrow art? Who is appealed to it? You know, who buys it? What kind of person buys it? And what gives it that definition? I think that's an interesting thing to talk about sometime. So let's go to World Arts News. I have a few things I like to share on all of these forums. So let me share with you something I came across online. I read that more than 50 theaters, galleries, and other arts organizations at serious financial risk have received emergency grants totaling £14 million. And this is in England, from the Arts Council of England over the past 3 years. So I just think that's an awesome thing. I've been following a lot of the arts culture in the UK. There's a website called artquest.org.uk that's very interesting. It is tailored really only to visual artists, but they have basically a whole program designed on this website for artists who have just graduated college who don't really know how to make money selling their art. They have this free platform that gives you networking, that gives you connections, that gives you jobs, grants. It's all through Facebook, Twitter. It's all free. They don't have to pay to join. And this website is supported through the same Arts Council. So I just want to say kudos to England for keeping it real, for supporting the arts over there, and for doing this massive bailout, which they call a bailout, but I think it's support. I don't think they're bailing us out. I think they're keeping artists supported. So that's what we're supposed to do. Another thing, the Arts Council here in San Diego still does not exist. I'm not sure if many of you know that San Diego County as a whole does not have an Arts Council. That's a really big deal, and we're in discussions now with the county and the city about what we can do in the meantime to keep the arts community stable and secure. So if you've got thoughts and ideas about that, send us an email, send us a tweet. Let's keep that conversation going. Another thing, just want to shout out Kerry Washington, actress from Scandal, which is my favorite show, unfortunately. Don't talk smack. She wrote in Huffington Post, she wrote the Huff Post about how to save our schools. The arts and music are no fairy tale was the title. And she partnered with Turnaround Arts and Americans for the Arts to work towards arts education as an overall solution for problems that go on in our schools. So that's a great thing. It's good to have endorsements from actresses, actors, and those people who have power and money and who have the attention of the public. So she's actually just bore a child, so she's not on TV at the moment. But that is great. That is a good thing. A couple websites I'd like you to know about, 10legs.com. 10legs.com. That's TENLEGS.com. It's a great website for visual artists and creatives who would like to work more in arts education and work with arts organizations and partnering to bring programs to schools, to bring programs to cross-sector or out-of-sector networks. So check out 10 Legs if you're a visual artist or a creative. The other great website I like right now is cultureboat.com. That's culture and then BOT.com. They just came up with a boutique skills market connecting artists to employers for non-arts gigs. So I guess an example of that might be, you know, if I'm an artist and I know I'm a singer and I go on this website and list myself as a singer, this website's gonna match me with a company that's not arts-based that is looking for a singer for maybe a specific conference, or they want entertainment, or maybe they'd like advice on music. Like maybe I could work for Starbucks sometime and give them advice on, you know, what CDs to sell at the front, you know, something like that. So this site is New York based only. New York seems to be the hub for the arts these days. But it's an example of what we need to do more of, I think, not just in New York, but as a nation. Artists should be able to step into other jobs and work in other markets besides the arts. I mean, we're relevant to any kind of business. The arts are naturally a part of all business models. I mean, Johnny, you're a business writer.
Yes.
Do you see the arts as being this? I mean, it's sad to feel like the arts are this unimportant, wasteful or superfluous thing that we, you know, it's not, because there's no company that can exist without art, right?
Well, I don't know if that's completely true, but art, it can be useful for almost any company that is interested in marketing, for sure.
But tell me what company can exist and market really well and make good profit without design, without creativity, without branding, without implementation of some kind of creativity.
Right.
Without music, without
I believe at least there's got to be some kind of design in most companies. But you know, there's some companies that it's just not that big a deal. Like if you were selling if you were a distributor of construction materials and you produce catalogs of just screws and nails and stuff that that construction site people want to order from, the marketing's not going to be that big a deal. But there will be some design. You know, so there's at least a graphic designer employed for those kinds of things.
There's at least one.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, and that's just, you know, that's most of the time those people were arts majors in college and whatnot. But what's interesting, I'm gonna kind of change the subject a little bit, but in Vietnam, the poets were the ones that were the most influential. Like the politicians would actually base their policies off of what the poets would say, which is total opposite of what we have here, which is kind of interesting.
You know what? That reminds me of soft skills, and I guess the opposite of soft skill is hard skill. I don't ever hear. Do you hear that word used? Hard skills?
Not really. I don't know. What's a soft skill and a hard skill?
You know how
soft skill?
Right, like in corporate America, soft skills are, you know, communication, getting along well with your peers and clients. Like those things are considered soft skills. You might go to like a soft skills class or a workshop on how to develop your soft skills, how to talk well to others and be emotionally connected, you know. Right. And that's considered soft in corporate America. Mm-hmm. But when you look at really big companies like Apple, the whole reason I think that they do well, to me, is the design and the emotional connection that you have to their products.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you watch some conferences, they have these technology conferences, and they spend the entire time talking about emotion,
right,
and gratification of the customer. That Facebook, for example, is so successful because it's emotional. Because you go online and you're instantly not lonely, and you somehow feel connected to a human being, and you feel important. Right?
Sometimes I feel important on Facebook, but
Right. But you know, those are interesting things to think about. I do feel like what you said about Vietnam and the poetry.
But that could be the reason why Vietnam lost almost every war, because they're listening to the opium smoking poets to make policies. I don't know. I'm not saying we should do that, but I don't know. It's just an interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So, Johnny, on another note, you want to give us some local arts news?
Yes. So we have a bunch of events coming up. Out Loud on June 3rd at the Bamboo Lounge, we have an open mic event featuring music, poetry, and other types of performances. In the theater world, we have Malesha Visconsin. I probably mispronounced that, but that is a play at Mololelo in downtown. The show will continue through June 29th. And in the local art scene, we have Nothing Means Anything on June 6th at Low Gallery in North Park. And that features art from Kenny King and Keith P. Stone. On June 7th, we have Portraits, a solo art show by Nick McPherson at Visual in North Park, and Perfect 10 at La Bodega in Barrio Logan. June 7th, of course, we have Art Around Adams 2014. We just had Adam Rosen on the show here, and he is a producer of Art Around Adams. And that is a 2-mile art and music festival up and down Adams Avenue. And other events, we have Thumbprint Gallery, my gallery, in La Jolla on June 14th, solo art show from Spencer Little titled That Mean I Won't. Then, on June 17th, we have Art, a Star Wars art show at Basic in downtown. And I pronounce it that way because that's just how it's written. And that's a Star Wars themed art show at Bar Basic, curated by Thumbprint Gallery. And then on the music side of things, June 14th, Jumping Turtle, we have Louis Logic and Psalm 1 and local San Diego hip-hop group Left in Company. Then back to the art scene, we have Artist and Motorcycle presented by Vols Alta at La Bodega in Barrio Logan. Drift official book release party at Low Gallery in North Park on June 27th. Then Glyphics group art show on July 3rd at the Moreau in Hillcrest. All right.
Right on. Okay. Awesome. So, would you like to speak a little bit about your experience with Art Around Adams?
Yeah. You know, it's a lot of work, but it's always a lot of fun. It's interesting to meet all the business owners along the avenue and work with them to find artists. I get to meet new artists. I get to work with artists that I don't always get to work with.
So, what percent of the artists that are in the festival now are not repeats, but people who have been in it for a couple of years at least?
You know, at least half have been in the festival at least once before.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Jessica, what are you doing out in Melbourne? You're in Melbourne, right?
Yeah, hi. Right now, I'm sitting in my car.
What time is it in Australia?
It's midday.
Sorry?
It's nearly 1 p.m.
Wow. How cool.
Yeah. It's tomorrow.
Wow. And aren't you doing a performance? Are you singing?
I am. I've been here for just under a week. I've had 4 concerts already, and I have another one in 2 days, and then there's another one the week after that. It's a crazy trip.
Oh my gosh. So for all of you listening, Jessica is an amazing soprano. She is based in San Diego, originally from Australia. And did you get your degree at UCSD? You did, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and she studied at UCSD, and we were supposed to perform in Carolyn Chen's opera called Hoods, a chamber opera mashup of the stories of women in extremis. And I wasn't able to participate, but I'd love to hear, how was the tour? How was everything?
Perhaps this isn't the right thing for a live discussion.
Oh my. Well, you know, Carolyn Chen, the composer who was really did an amazing job writing this piece. It was written for 3 women, and she was actually at our ArtSpeaks in April, and she came and spoke, and she talked to us about being a woman composer, and specifically in opera, and what her experiences have been, even as well, even in academia, how it has been just being a female composer, how difficult it is, and I applauded her for her continued effort to bring new music, because new music in general is very important right now, especially in opera, and just keeping up the good work, man. I mean, especially in San Diego, there's not a lot of opportunity for opera singers and opera writers, for opera in general. As many of you know, the opera company almost closed, and then suddenly it's okay. There are 3 operas coming out next season. The 4th one was canceled. They were able to raise a little over $2 million, I guess, online through Kickstarter. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about that as well that will not go live. But it's interesting. What do you, Johnny and Jessica, what do you think is most lacking in the city of San Diego for this arts community that we are trying to build? What do you think is the missing link?
The missing link? Oh,
what would help make what would help make an arts community be stronger here in the city, in the county?
You know, where I'm from, the place where I'm sitting right now, one of the things that they do really well is support individual artists to do, you know, independent small projects with, there are lots of different granting bodies that as an individual artist or a young artist you can go to for small amounts of money if you can show that you have the right sort of background and the right planning skills, and that you really are able to carry the project through there. You can go.
Right.
You need to be incorporated. You don't need to be a 501c3. You can just be a young individual artist straight out of college, and you say, I need $2,500 to make an album so that people can hear my music. And you know, there are avenues where people can go pretty easily to get those access to those kinds of things, where you get to design your own project and see it through from beginning to end without needing to be attached to anything bigger. And I feel like you know, when the San Diego City Council arts grants, things like that, they're pretty hard to tick all the boxes just to be able to apply for those grants. You need to be so established and have so much infrastructure. It's kind of crazy. So it's very hard, I think, for independent artists who just want to, you know, get experience building up towards that level to be able to take those first steps.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. I think I just spent this last week looking for grants. I just said, you know what, everyone tells me to write a grant, maybe I should look. And yeah, I noticed the same problem. I either need a tax ID number, which, by the way, an excellent resource for those of you who may not know, and maybe I can do a screen share. There is a website called Fractured Atlas. FracturedAtlas.org. Have you guys heard of that?
Never heard of it.
Wow.
What is it?
Fractured Atlas, yo.
What is it?
Fractured Atlas is a nonprofit organization that empowers artists to succeed as entrepreneurs. They provide tax ID numbers so that you can apply for grants and use their tax ID. They are a fiscal receiver for over 400 artists and organizations in America. So let me see if I can screen share that for you. Screen share. Fractured Atlas. There we go. Start screen share. I learned about them living in New York. They are a New York-based organization. They used to have really cool. Do you guys see that here?
Nope.
You'll see it eventually.
Okay.
You can join. I think it's $150 a year or something, and that includes getting, I believe, your fiscal ID, your tax ID number through them as fiscal receiver. I believe they take something like 7% of your profits that you make, and that's how they survive. They also have insurance. They help you find insurance. They connect you with their network. So when you're a member of Fractured Atlas, you're
I have it on my screen. Oh, you got it on your screen too. Okay.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff that you can read up. They attend a lot of conferences, and they host a lot of workshops. They have a blog. They have services that they provide, consulting. They have webinar classes. I think you can sit and watch. I think maybe for a small fee, you can learn more about how to succeed as an artist. And very good resource. Another cool resource is the Freelancers Union. Have you guys heard of the Freelancers Union?
I have not.
Freelancers Union. Let me see if it's .com.
.org.
It's .org. They're also New York based. I heard about them in New York. They are you gonna screen share that, Jay?
Okay.
If you want.
I got it. Oh, you got it. You got it.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, I'll post these links on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Freelancers Union. A healthy freelancer is a happy freelancer. Right? Working for the radical notion of fairness. Wow. Is it radical?
It is now.
So they've got this thing. This is a really great section here called New Mutualism. I read this article a while ago. Let's check it out. What is New Mutualism? What is new? Oh, it's like co-ops and mutual, do-it-yourself, do-it-ourselves kind of thing. That's kind of that's where I'm going with this concept of the collaborative. People, I think at this point we can't wait for 16 grants to pop up.
Right.
Many of us, including myself, might want to quit by the time that grant comes. Like, by the time you finally release the opera singer grant, will I have said, screw it, I'm not going to sing anymore? Like, at this point, we don't have an arts council. We don't have grant support. We don't have enough government support. What can we do as artists right now? And the one thing I can think of is come together and pool our resources and collaborate. Because all of us are trying to do the same thing, and we are the very ones who appreciate. We're the ones who appreciate the arts. We are the artists. Right. So, you know, I thought the same about the opera company. The opera company, the people running it, decided they didn't want to run it any longer. That's fine. But the company is made of the artists. The company is really not, just because you have X million of dollars doesn't mean that you own the company.
Right.
That's my view. I thought a nonprofit was not owned by individuals. Nonprofits are owned by the public. Mm-hmm. And in that sense, the public, the people, the workers, the artists are the company. And in that, we should be able to run our own company. We should be able to find ways to economically support ourselves through coming together. That's what I would hope to believe.
I think what would really be helpful for artists is just to learn about basic business.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of artists that I have worked with just don't have that basic understanding of even just what a legal contract is, and keeping an agreement, and how that affects business projects in a larger scope. And in reality, if you're doing anything in the arts, and you're asking for money in any way, it's a business project. So I think it's important to treat it as business, because that's what it is.
That's true. You're absolutely right. Yeah, some people just do need to start from the straight, just from straight up looking at your artwork as a for-profit business.
Right, exactly.
It is for profit. You know, it is not.
For a lot of people, but some people know. Everybody has different goals, but you know, most professional artists are doing it for money.
Right. So we've got Nicole Hickman on the line.
Hi there.
Hi, Nicole.
Sorry I was late. A friend of mine was going through a little bit of a crisis. I wanted to be here at the beginning, but she was important as well. So, and I just found out about this today. This is great. Thank you for hosting this.
Absolutely. I don't think I know you. Johnny, do you know Nicole?
I don't know.
I can tell you a little bit about myself if you'd like.
Sure.
I am the 2014 curatorial director for an upcoming event happening in San Diego called Figment.
Oh, that's right. I saw your post on Facebook.
Yes. Figment is happening on June 28th at Chicano Park.
Awesome.
It is essentially it is a free event. We don't sell anything there. We encourage multiple artist participation. The idea behind Figment is the idea of building community through art. We look for things that are interactive and participatory. Last year was the very first West Coast edition of Figment. It started in New York in 2007 and has expanded to a multi-city event. San Diego was the very first, as I said, West Coast effort for Figment, and we had approximately 1,100 people show up to the park that day.
Wow.
And we're hoping for something in the same vein this year. So we're looking for artist participation. We have submissions still ongoing through June 9th. And yeah, that's the nutshell.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I feel like I heard about Figment in New York.
Yes, that's where it started. That's where it started. On Governor's Island.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Are you from New York?
Actually, originally I am, but the way I first found out about Figment is that I'm also a Burning Man regional contact here in San Diego.
Nice.
So I attended what's called a global leadership conference that Burning Man holds every year for people who are, leaders in the Burning Man community. And David Coren, who started Figment in New York, did a presentation about Figment, and my response was basically, we have to do this in San Diego.
Yeah.
So after a couple of years of back and forth, trying to recruit people to get interested in the idea of doing one here in San Diego, my vision for it was always to have it at Chicano Park, because the history of that park has its underlying roots in the same vein of building community through art that Figment does, and it's a perfect venue for the event, with the murals there and the history of the park and how all the murals came to be there. It's just the perfect backdrop and collaborative space for us to have the event. So we were really amazed by our success last year, our first-time venture. None of us had ever done any type of event on that level before. The artist participation was amazing. We had somewhere between 35 to 40 different installations. And like I said, yeah, we estimate we had about 1,100 to 1,500 people show up throughout the course of the day.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. You know what, there, Johnny, who was that guy who, the other Burning Man guy who came to the first ArtSpeaks, who has this thing called, he has the hat, and the hat says, they were selling hats, and he was also at Alex's art show.
Would that possibly Brady Mahaney?
He has a hat, and it says, there's a word that he describes for his collaborative arts group.
In San Diego?
Yeah, and he's a Burning Man guy, and he came to he's actually on our YouTube video. Oh, we exist to make art was his hat. Have you seen this guy, Nicole?
Yeah, he's not ringing a bell for me. I estimate that the local Burning Man community is somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000 people.
Wow.
So you know, I mean, at least judging based on our Facebook group, we have over 3,000 members there. Our Facebook page, we have a little bit over 2,000 likes. It's a pretty broad community. A lot of people who kind of follow the group on Facebook also come from LA. We have a kind of sister city in LA, as you know, we kind of try and collaborate with our events and stuff. So if I don't know a person in the community here, it's not for lack of trying, but we do have a fairly large community, so you know, it's hard to keep track of 3,000 to 5,000 people because everybody, you know, it's a duocracy. So
how long have you been going to Burning Man?
My first burn was in 2009.
Okay.
And then in 2010, I was selected to be a regional contact for San Diego. So I've been doing that since 2010. Our first Figment, as I said, was last year. But I also function as regional contact. We do an annual event called Utopia that happens the third weekend of October. Last few years, we've been doing it up at the La Jolla Indian Reservation campgrounds. And I serve as like I'm the regional contact that kind of is the conduit for that event, but I also function as the communications lead for the event currently. So I wear a lot of different hats.
What do you think the purpose of Burning Man is? Is something? Are people trying to accomplish something through Burning Man, or?
Interesting. That I've never had anyone really ask me about the purpose of Burning Man. I mean,
or if there's a purpose at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would say actually the answer to that question is there isn't a purpose. I mean, if you think of things as goal-oriented, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess so.
You know, are we trying to accomplish something?
Like, I don't know, like a world peace or world destruction?
Yeah, just encouraging asthma throughout the community by experiencing dust storms in the desert.
Mix it along with some weed smoke, and
I do know that a lot of people think of Burning Man as this giant party, and to deny that, in fact, it often is would be disingenuous. But as someone who's attended the burn 4 times, and again, I kind of want to stay away from the idea of purpose here. It's the primary part for me, the thing that resonates the best for me, is radical self-expression, and also radical inclusion. But there are a lot of different ways that people participate in that concept when they go to the burn. I mean, some people, do for sure go there just to party. But if you've ever seen any photo gallery type stuff of some of the art that comes to Burning Man, I think a lot of people actually are engaged with this idea of the concept of the temporary city, because literally I think last year they hit 62,000 people attending, but they also leave no trace. So when the event is over, within 3 months, every possible residue that may have been left behind from 62,000 people camping in the same place for a week is gone. And then it happens again.
Nice. Sounds
every
fun.
year.
I'll have to check it out.
There's a lot of artistic expression that happens on the playa, what we fondly call the Black Rock City Desert. So just amazing art. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the pictures of some of the art that comes out to the playa. I mean, we're talking about
I've seen a lot of pictures. It looks really fun. Adam Rosen, who was just on, he likes to go to Burning Man a lot, and he tells everybody, this is the greatest thing. But I have yet to go. I think I'm getting too old.
I don't know about that. How old are you?
I'm 35.
I'm 56.
I'm an old 35.
So clearly I'm a lot younger than you are.
Clearly.
Oh my God. But you know, Burning Man to me sounds like the place where you go and let it go. That's it. Like let go, like you come to this space where you are completely welcome to just go wherever you need to go. Huh?
Take off your clothes? Is that what you mean?
If you want to or not. Stay clothed if you want to. I mean, really the way that you participate in Burning Man is up to you. It's not up to, there are no, they have scheduled activities that happen at Burning Man, but really the level of your participation is up to how much you want to participate. It's you're creating your experience out there.
Right.
With some very basic ground rules about, just kind of common sense stuff, really. So, because it is a harsh environment, it's in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada, and at that time of year, dust storms are a true fact. You can be walking along on the desert floor at any given moment, and a dust storm will come out of nowhere, and suddenly you can't see more than 2 inches in front of your face.
Is it always in the same location?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, there's a harshness to the environment, but the amazing thing is how well the city works. I mean, you're talking about, like I said, 62,000 people last year attending this event. Many of them having never been at all ever, combined with people who have been going for years and years and years, and they're creating this kind of participatory culture where not only are you kind of expected to take care of yourself, but also people are, regardless of what they say, they're taking care of everyone else as well. It's a community. Right. It's a temporary community. But the other kind of misnomer about Burning Man as this 1 week party madness in the desert is there's a lot that Burning Man does outside of that 1 week a year. So, for example, the Black Rock Arts Foundation, which is based in San Francisco, I was privileged to be to serve a 2-year term on the grant selection community. And what they do is they fund art that happens not on the Black Rock City playa, but they fund art that happens in urban environments, for example.
Okay.
So there's kind of a legacy. I mean.
So is that a nonprofit?
It's a nonprofit.
Okay. All right.
Another nonprofit sort of leg of the Burning Man project, which is also just recently a nonprofit, is called Burners Without Borders. So they got their start when Hurricane Katrina happened. A bunch of burners heard about it while they were on the playa, and they took a team to Biloxi, Mississippi, and helped to rebuild a town.
Oh wow.
And yeah, they were instrumental in a lot of things there, but they, for one example, they helped to rebuild a Buddhist temple that had been devastated by the storm. So there's a lot of stuff that happens outside of Burning Man that 1 week during the year. Figment was started by burners, but it's not specifically a Burning Man event, but it does adhere to some of the guidelines that there are 10 principles that Burning Man tries to ask people to acknowledge, and Figment is taking some of those principles, kind of mainstreaming it a little bit more, so, you know, because it is an all-ages, family-friendly event. So,
what is the connection between Burning Man and what is known as the rave scene? Is there a connection in your opinion? Was there? Or
if there's a connection, it's probably not necessarily intentional. I think that there are a lot of similar paths that both people who go to Burning Man
and they have a code of ethics too.
Yeah.
Plur, peace, love, unity, and respect. I mean, a little broad, but your 10 principles reminds me of that. Obviously, the musical genres kind of remind me of that as well. So I've always been interested in what that connection actually is, because there's a lot of people who are in the rave scene. They're we're not burners.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. And vice versa, actually.
Yeah, vice versa, and some are very adamant that they're not that, but some are both. And I don't know.
I mean, you know, like I said, one of the principles of Burning Man is radical inclusion. So, you know, if ravers come to Burning Man, nobody's against that concept.
Right.
If ravers don't want to consider themselves burners, well, you know, that's really their call, not ours. You know, I mean, there are commonalities in the path, but I think that Burning Man takes a little bit longer-term view from a cultural standpoint than maybe rave culture does. I can't say, quite honestly. I would be dishonest to say that I've ever been to a rave. I've never been to one. Arguably, you could say, well, but you go to Burning Man, so isn't that a rave? And I would say, well, that's not why
definition.
I go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting.
I'm into it. I would do it if I could get some childcare for a week. However, and if I had a trailer and something, maybe I would totally. I dig it. I get it. The guy that I was talking about earlier, who had the hat from Burner, his thing is called liminal spaces, or what is that word? Is it liminal?
Subliminal? Or
no. I think it's not subliminal. It's liminal, purposefully, because liminal, I think, is the space between.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop my dictionary open here because I've heard this term before.
Yeah.
Let's see, where is my dictionary? It's right here.
Liminal space, the space. It's like a transitional point, the space between destinations, I guess. But it's something. It's some kind of destination in the mind, maybe, or the subconscious.
Of or relating to a transition or initial stage of a process.
Oh, of a process. Wow.
Occupying a position at or on both sides of a boundary or a threshold.
Sounds like drugs to me.
Sounds like you're really interested in that drug culture stuff.
Yeah, that's.
I'm only trying to find out how to say no.
So I actually don't know who I am talking to apart from the icons I can see. So museSalon, is that the woman's voice speaking?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Malesha Taylor. I'm the founder of museSalon. We are a collaborative, and we have salons. We have talks, and that's the stage that we're at right now. We're talking. We want to get other people talking. We want to build dialogue, and we want to build cross-disciplinary conversations in the arts.
Is a salon where you get your hair done?
Salon from the French 18th century, which is a gathering of art people and art types, and there's a host or hostess who kind of keeps the energy and keeps everyone cool. That's a salon. It usually was a woman, actually, back in that time.
That time period.
It usually was in her home. And that would be really cool to do. But I don't know a lot of people that I can invite to my home at the moment. So we are online, and
The digital salon.
the digital salon, and people just, I don't know if you knew that if you heard Jessica who was online, she was in Australia. So we are trying to build an international. We do have an international network as we speak, but we do want to keep people involved that are in different time zones, because I think the conversation is global. It's not just for San Diego.
Agreed.
And I just moved here from New York, and our partner sister is in New York City as well, Erin Gleason, who she wasn't able to join us, but she texted me apologizing. Sorry, guys, I'm missing out. But
Better apologize.
she people are texting me apologizing that they're not here, but
Well,
it
Yeah,
doesn't.
well, I
YouTube.
literally found out about this afternoon as well. I think it was through another Facebook group, the San Diego Art Don't Suck group, perhaps.
Don't
Oh
suck.
yeah,
Yeah.
It don't suck.
I know.
So somehow I found out about it this afternoon, and I had already made a couple of plans for the day, but I'm glad I was able to at least sneak in on the tail end of things.
Absolutely. What is the website for Figment, or where can we find out about this event and where your submissions are being taken?
Yeah, the website itself is sandiego.figmentproject as one word .org.
San Diego. I'm going to type this into the group chat. So it's San Diego dot.
Figment Project.
Is that pigment with a P as in Paul?
Maybe with an F.
No,
I got it.
Figment as
I
in-
got it. I got it. I got
Or I
it.
could type it in.
No, I got it.
Okay. sandiego.figmentproject.org.
Nice. Okay.
And when you get to that website, you'll see a Get Involved thing in the nav up at the top towards the right, which includes a link to the Submit a Project page, which gives you kind of guidelines about what types of projects we're looking for. I mean, essentially, we're looking for interactive and participatory types of work. So
Nice.
the idea is that participants actually will actually be able to contribute to the artwork themselves, as well as, so the artists. So, for example, last year, among some of the pieces we had, one of them was called the Superhero Wall Mural, where the artist brought out outlines of different, black outlines of different superheroes that came to mind for him. And he had paints and paintbrushes, and people were able to kind of color in through the outlines. We had a woman who brought basically a live painting mural, so she actually had physically live models posed up against the mural, and she was painting on her mural, but also painting the people themselves that were standing up against the mural. We had a spin art bike, we had a screen printing area, we had it was called a collaborative tile mural. So this woman brought kind of a roll of that butcher paper, and she kind of allocated 12 by 12 inch squares, and by the end of the day, the thing was probably about 40 feet in length, with as many different 12 by 12 squares of murals that people just created themselves on that just ongoing butcher paper roll. We had a lot of stuff going on. I encourage you to check out the website to see a little bit more about what the event is like. But collaboration and participation and interactivity are key.
Right.
That even succeeding. And feel free, of course, to like us on Facebook as well.
Absolutely. I don't know if you can see that I screen
Yes,
share.
I did see that. Thank you very much.
I'm sharing on the screen so that those of you listening on YouTube, because this broadcast will archive on YouTube. So Nicole, feel free to share it with folks if you want to use it
Absolutely.
for anything. And
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed Adam as well because he actually was graciously asked us to come to Art Around Adams to ask Figment to come to Art Around Adams with what I'm hoping will be some microcosmic examples of some of the artwork we'll have this year. So hopefully you'll see our presence there on Saturday.
Where will you be?
Not sure yet. I just found out. I just got the invitation yesterday from Adam, so I'm quickly scrambling the troops to try and get.
You hear that, Adam?
I thought he was not with us anymore in terms of this.
He's not, but just leaving a message for him.
Yeah, no, I definitely replied back to him, so he knows I'm trying to make something work for this coming Saturday. So so hopefully you'll see us there.
Awesome. Let me hit some of that.
Sorry?
You should let me hit some of that. Pass it along.
It's just an e-smoke.
Uh-huh.
Not even all that glamorous.
All right. Very well.
All right, Johnny, we know where your mind is right now. So we're going to go ahead and close out. I think we have done a fabulous collaborative discussion with our arts community here. So let's recap. We had Adam Rosen with Art Around Adams. He's at artaroundadams.org. We've had Johnny Tran, our co-host, at thumbprintgallerysd.com. I also shared a couple of other websites with you that are on our chat, Fractured Atlas and Freelancers Union, along with...
Also on the Facebook event page.
Yes, that is on our Facebook event page.
Great.
And we've got Nicole Hickman here with San Diego Figment Project. That's sandiego.figmentproject.org. And my name is Malesha Taylor. This is museSalon.org, museSalon Collaborative. Johnny, can you give us our song?
Oh, I almost forgot. Yes.
We're going to close out our show unless, Nicole, you'd like to share anything else on your mind with us today.
The only thing I'd like to share is we are still taking artist submissions through June 9th, so please submit a project.
Awesome. Yes, artists out there who are listening, submit a project. That sounds amazing. It would be great. I'm going to think of something participatory that I can do. Some artists, it's like we have to think of what can we do that involves collaboration and it's not just me, right? And that's a good thing. It's good to come out and engage the community and have that dialogue and take your art to another level. So definitely that's awesome. So Johnny is going to play. He's going to play a song by one of the artists who will be performing at Art Around Adams. Can you tell us the name of this band again?
Yes, the artist is Satanic Puppeteer Orchestra.
I like them already.
and this artist will be performing at Art Around Adams, June 7th. Check him out. Actually, I think, let's see. Also, I was just giving this note, Art Around Adams will also give out a free raffle with great prizes. I don't know how they're going to do the raffle, but okay. And there's also a Kensington Kids Zone at Art Around Adams on Kensington for all kids and family. But anyways, this is Satanic Puppeteer Orchestra, and the tune is Volcano Alarm.
Wait.
Oh, sorry, what?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I wanted you to tell everyone who's listening how this performance, how it looks. What you told me. Describe this performance.
Oh, right. So basically, the artist is kind of doing a little spoof on the Frankenstein, I guess, kind of thing, or no. He's a mad scientist, and the robot's actually doing all the singing, and he's kind of in the background being a mad scientist. You'll see. It's really out there. It's really hard to describe, actually. It's just pretty crazy. Anyways, here we go. Satanic Puppeteer Orchestra.
All right. Is that a wrap?
That is a wrap.
All right, friends. Thank you so much for joining us at ArtSpeaks and Arts and Culture Forum. You have just listened to your co-hosts, Johnny Tran at Thumbprint Gallery and Malesha Taylor at museSalon Collaborative. And you've also heard from Adam Rosen with artaroundadams.org and Jessica Azuti, who was online in Australia, and Nicole Hickman with San Diego Figment Project. Stay tuned. We will be back next month, the first Sunday of every month, always at 7 o'clock p.m.
Tell everybody. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Join us. Google Plus. Hang out with us. You can join our circle. museSalon has a circle, you know, Google Plus profile account. Join us. Become our friend. And you can get in. And even if you're not a friend, I think you can get in. So, yeah, just join us. So thank you guys again so much. This will archive.
Thank you so much for hosting this.
Absolutely. And let's stay in touch, all of us, please. Let's stay in touch. Facebook, Twitter, all those great places that we like to hang out. And we will have a quarterly meet and greet, because we do like to see faces. We don't like to be too virtual. So we're going to try and have a quarterly meet and greet at TPG2 in Hillcrest. And we will let you know the dates and times as soon as we get that organized. So, yay. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your night.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Take care. Bye.